What it do? Thank you for tapping in for another edition of Live on Wednesday. It's the greatest host in the universe, known as King Crowder. I want to thank everybody for tapping in with me already. Hopefully you are new to the channel. I'm your boy King Crowder. Always here to give you game unapologetically, to have unapologetic conversations, as to also talk about FBA news. If you are new here, share the live, share the live, share the live. Today's topic is, why are non-FBAs threatened by the lineage of foundational Black American? And I'm going to break down why. The number one reason why most people are fearful of foundational Black Americans, y'all, FBA, Black Americans, whatever you like to call it, is because we are the resistance class. The resistant class means if there's an issue, if there's a problem, we don't let it slide. We address it. One thing about people that don't let slide when issues come about, ain't no ducking, ain't no running, ain't no politicking. You got to lay it on the pavement. You got to show where you align. And remember, any response, silence, or one will be addressed. Most cultures outside of FBA culture is taught to assimilate, ladies and gentlemen. Assimilation means go along with the status quo. In our culture, we don't go along with the status quo. That causes a problem. Since we cause a problem, the problems are not addressed. It will keep being brought up. So that's the number one reason why many non-FBAs have a problem with us. They will say words like we're divisive, we're confrontational, you find issues, everything's about race. Drop them in the chat if you've heard these words before. That is because we will talk about the uncomfortable things. Socially, we were taught, we were raised, we were brought up to not be afraid and to know that your voice is just as much warranted. I want you to pay attention to something, y'all. When the BAFTA incident happened, right, many UK actors who actively practice Black American speeches in this country or roles said nothing. The only people that said something were the Black American actors, community, and resistance class. When you see things like that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look to your left and your right. Not only I want you to observe, I want you to analyze. They are saying, we have a problem with you because you make a problem for me. We have a problem with how you speak because you make things difficult for me. I have a problem with how you talk because people think I talk the same way. And as people that has a code of standing on business, you got to know that that will make people have some issues. Non-FBAs are male cuckold. That's strong. What it do, y'all? What it do? Facts. We have no allies. Shout out to John. But I'm going to keep cooking, y'all. And when you have a culture standing on business, y'all, you have a lineage, an impact, a social system to address things that are not right. You got to choose. Remember, y'all, let's shout out to the fellas right quick. Shout out to the FBA men. You cannot be around me and I don't know where you align. You cannot ride with me. You cannot be in the car with me. You cannot be a man that is indecisive and be in my space because you are dangerous. And the reason why the FBA rhetoric is growing more and more, y'all, as they call it, or why is it new? It's not new. It's being rebirthed, reborn, transformed. Whenever somebody says to you, FBA is new, no, it's not. Remember, Native Black, shout out to Dr. Claudia Anderson, was already a term. FBA is a way of tightening the term to make sure it's solidified. You know how you redefine definitions? You know how words change over time and they still mean the same thing? It's the same thing. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic today, y'all, because it was a video sent to me, man, earlier this week. Wrong. Non-FBAs are taught to assimilate into Black culture. Black culture is the status quo of non-FBAs. They don't fit the Black culture. They attack us. Facts, Fendi, fact. I got to stand for Black Americans or move on. Shout out to y'all. Y'all heavy in the chat right now. So first video, y'all. Remember, I always like to give y'all context to why this comes about. If you have not saw the video, there is a podcast, which I have no problem with brothers having a podcast, called 1 in 54. The 1 in 54 podcast is giving the African point of view of being raised in America. And this gentleman named Akbar, who was raised in Compton, yeah, right, gives his take on what he's saying. Just take a listen.
Because I think it is the most separatist term coined back in 2019.
Wrong, brother. It is not a separatist term. It is identifier. When people lead with words like separatism, divisive, hard to deal with, those are buzzwords, FBA. When you hear those buzzwords, know that it's about to come with some bullshit.
By
was it Tariq Nasheed?
Tariq, I know Tariq. And Tariq Nasheed coined this term, and maybe
he didn't coin it, he didn't evangelize it. All the people doing a line, y'all. When people lie, do not let them go through with the lie. Address it right then and there. When people say something dishonest, all FBA family, when somebody says something dishonest in front of you, check it. Do not let it slide. Do not let it be festered. The spirit of something is still around. It lingers around. Y'all feel me? So when bad energy, when somebody's doing something that you know that's wrong and you let it linger, that's a form of agreement. If I know that this brother is saying something disingenuous, do not let him get that off. Block it. Destroy it. Play defense. Swat it down. Correct them. But let them finish going.
Good intent, because it's like, hey, how do we separate when it comes to reparations and being able to say, hey, this belonged to the black slaves that came to America, and
the black slaves didn't come to America. Many of us were indigenous. Many of us came down through the transatlantic slave trade. He doesn't even know the history. He was born in Compton. Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. This brother claimed to fame is that I was raised in Compton and I don't even have the history of the genealogy right. It's a damn shame.
Descendants, and I get that. I get and understand that concept.
Then if you get it, why is it difficult for you to understand, big dog? If you get it, if you sympathize, if you understand, if you kind of get it, it shouldn't be an issue. No matter if it's not for me, y'all, I'm going to respect it. You know how ladies got this? That's for them. I don't understand it. That's for them. Our FBA women have words, codes, lingo. I don't understand it. I don't criticize it. I know it's not for me. And if something is not for me, I'm not going to criticize it. I'm going to respect it. I'm going to say, I appreciate what you do. Not those sleight of the hands. Not those slick shit on that. Hit the like button. Thank you, brother. Godfrey playing both sides. You fact, though. Godfrey did play both sides, man. I agree. I agree. Godfrey literally supports FBA, but y'all attack him because he's Nigerian American. I don't think we attack Godfrey, y'all. What we do is we highlight the inconsistency, brother. Two cosplaying tree. You stupid, man. 3% of African were arrested, and the rest came here. Big facts, y'all. Check the history book. If you do not know, Columbus came first. Great read.
But what it does, it furthers this idea of separation. Yeah. And I think back again to childhood and the stuff that even as an adult, like, I'm not African. I'm anything but African, right? I got Indian in my blood. I'm Creole.
You know what's funny, y'all? Anytime I've worked, and I live in the H, y'all, shout out to Houston, Texas. They will tell you, many of them will tell you that are from immigrant backgrounds will tell you I'm not black. And it's cool. I've been told to my face, I'm a country guy from the mountains of Virginia, y'all, from a freedom town. Shout out to 540 my city, 2417. They have told me to my face as being down here, I am not black. I am other. I am not black. I am other. I've heard this a lot. I'm not telling you something I've read, I've noticed, I've seen. I saw it with my own two eyes. So if you're going to address it all, baby, address it all. What's that one song? If I'm going to tell it, then I got to tell it all. You know what I'm saying? For real.
I'm anything but African. And so when you say foundationally Black American, it's like, yes, I can say I'm foundationally Black American and I am not you. I'm like, no, Because like my father used to tell me, I don't know what all these fuss is about. They are the same people.
I'm sorry, my daddy don't sound like that, my boy. My daddy made it clear that we are not the same people. Shout out to y'all other big facts, American Indians. But I'm saying, my father don't talk like it. My father let me know that you do other yourself. I got to talk early on that they don't rock with us. So the energy that you got to have, Akba, about what you feel, which is your perspective, you got to be the same way, big dog. I wish I could have been there and been like, hey, I hear you, but what do you say when you hear it the other side? You telling me how you feel, right? You saying it with your chest. You have some emotion behind it. That means it's a feeling. I mean, you grew up in Compton in the 90s where you saw these things. But when you heard the words Jareel, Abib, Akata, do you have that same energy? Because one thing about King Crowder, y'all, I'ma keep it the energy the same. I'ma lay it on the pavement. I'ma tell you how you feel if you like it or not, bro. I notice a lot of time when that fervor, that energy, that perspective, that tone, that chest, that vocal execution, they speak with passionately. When they have this conversation, when it's time to correct it the other way, they get quiet. They humble their voice. They speak in a real low fashion. But the energy with us is hype, it's elevated, it's strong. You see the goddamn vein out their neck. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. You guys are brothers.
Yeah.
And then like my dad said, y'all brother, man, we ain't your brother. We ain't African booty scratchers. No, but we look alike. No.
Can I say something controversial, y'all? Just because we related don't mean we family. Just because we blood don't mean we family. I am not of that ilk. Love everybody no matter what. No. Love who loves you. Respect who respect you. Call who calls you. Support who supports you. I don't give a damn if that is your brother. If you ain't got no respect for me, if you ain't got no love for me, if you don't call and check on me and come see my family and invest in me like I do the other way around, we ain't family. Stop letting that word family be abused on you. Them people are abusive. No, sir. You are not my family because family don't mean just because we was raised or had the same blood. No, sir. Family means who you grow with, who loves you and spend times with you, who invests in you. Not just because I get something out of the benefit. It has to be a two-way street. I don't like people like that, y'all. If anybody ever tells you that's your family, tell them hell no. Family is reciprocal. Love is reciprocal. Friendship is reciprocal. Joy is reciprocal. Do not tell me just because we are this and that and we haven't said, no, sir. Don't let anybody lie to you like that, especially people like that, because that means they have an agenda, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody uses that word, we family, we this, man, you got to show this, you got to have compassion. Give them a side eye. Quote me if you got to. Quote me. We not the same, y'all. We the real Americans. We don't even look the same. Big facts, y'all. The rest of the Americans are only around the FBA or the worldwide, international. I'm an American blood. Why does this? Oh, somebody said something. Why does this even matter? What we call ourselves? I don't understand it. You don't understand it, brother, because most people are tended not to understand it. I'm not related to third world. Y'all going disrespectful. Why are they so invested in American business? That's what I want to know. You got to remember, y'all. They are invested in American business is because we control what the currency is going to be. You got to understand, y'all. People are concerned with you because they have to monitor your action. Y'all ever heard that expression, a monitoring spirit? A monitoring spirit is someone that likes to check the temperature on things. They like to pry, they like to take, and they like to marinate from you. That's what they mean. They wish to be us. The biggest lie is that we are African. We don't even look African. That's fact, though. Many people have addressed that, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the issue right now, y'all. The biggest lie issue we have to deal with is people being blatantly disrespectful to yourself, and we not checking that shit.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right, cool.
Well, this came into when reparations was being considered.
Yeah.
When reparations came in, they're like, how much are Black Americans owed?
It had to be codified.
Right. They're owed a lot.
Yeah.
They deserve
a lot.
The inventions in America are damn near all Black. Let's just keep it 100. All the stuff that people are using, from the doorknob to the escalator to the elevator to
medical devices,
to pacemakers, to GPSs, to helicopter. We can just keep going. People are using it because
commercial architecture, to music, to cultural references, to standby, to assimilation, to what America, to holidays. Don't stop there, Godfrey. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all, baby. It's a lot of things, to blood transfusion, to sickle cell counts, to drugs, to the way we consume medicine, to the way we clean up, to the ADP, to the iPhone, to the cameras that go in the lens, all of these things, y'all. Gladys West with the GPS, there's so many things that we've contributed that we have not been taught. But that doesn't mean that you have to represent and teach it for me. That's not what that means.
A lot of white inventors were able to steal patents, like Thomas Edison stole patents. Lewis Latimer's.
Thomas Edison was terrible, y'all. If y'all want a good story from me, get this, target this note. Thomas Edison tried to steal Granville Woods' patent. The one truth about Thomas Edison that I hope comes out, especially because we got these AR documentaries now, y'all, is how much of a actual treacherous man Thomas Edison was. Hopefully the truth gets taught. If it's not me, I'm gonna definitely get on that along with other factions that we talk about. I want that history about that brother to be told because he was a treacherous dude, man.
Patents, they stole all of it.
Yep.
So they deserve reparations. Foundation, I believe that
100%.
Black Americans, you deserve it. Now, if there's some money left, you can give it to us because we can call. So I got. They
gonna come after you.
I know Godfrey made a joke right there, but let's go ahead and summarize this point before we go to our next point. The reason why non-FBAs are threatened, ladies and gentlemen, write this down, is because we are a culture of accountability. There's nothing worse than working with people that make you do your job. Remember, y'all, people like you when you work. But once you make a mother bleeper do their job, they don't like you. I know if y'all not working, some of y'all may be young, older, in the workplace. People do not like you when you enforce the job and standards. I wanted the bubble to be pushed for all my future college graduates, my high school, whatever. If you do your job too well, you will be a threat to certain people. What do you mean, King Crowder? That sounds crazy. No, it makes sense, y'all. Drop in the chat if you don't believe me. When you do your job too well and you uphold the standards of what the job entails, people will not like you. That is one of the main reasons why they do not like foundational Black Americans, because we uphold the standard. We uphold a certain threshold. We uphold what accountability is. We uphold what it looks like to be invested in supporting each other. Not the hashtag, but in real life, on the pavement, on the ground level, on the grassroots substrate. That is the energy we uphold, and it's uncomfortable because we don't get taught, y'all. A lot of these people that come from immigrant backgrounds literally don't have a standard of that. You're telling me to act, listen, think, and approach myself in a certain way that's not normal. You're telling me to have a communal code where I got to honor my word, where I have to be ethical, where if something doesn't go right, somebody can put hands on you. You know, an FBA culture, if you're not a man of your word, we'll put hands and feet on you. We won't take your life. We won't do nothing crazy like that. But as far as the standard of what we dealing with, no disrespect to the lineage, that's a fact, y'all. Makes me go to World War. Looking at the most census record of employment, they are African American, which they hired out FBA. That's fact. That's fact, man. Salute to Granville T. Wood and Lewis Latimer. Shout out to the brother with that history fact. Was that Godfrey? Yes, it was, fam. It was Godfrey. My cat was murdered by her. I don't have no idea what you're talking about, brother. Can you? He trolling. It's about friends at work. If you play rules, you can be controlled. You're a good boy network. That's true. No one supports blacks but blacks. Shout out to Andrea with that Fendi fact, man. On to video number 2, man. The video number 2 that I want everybody to tap into. Share the live, comment, like, and subscribe, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in with me. Number 2, y'all. Have black and immigrants ever been one? Have we ever? Listen to the immigrant point of view.
Americans, black immigrants, the Civil Rights Bill.
It was me. Listen to me, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Give me a second. Yo. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. If you ain't following me on TikTok, follow your boy.
Black Americans, Black immigrants, we're one people. We have, yes, different struggles from different sides of the world, but all together we are united. So, you know,
I'm going to be a troll, y'all, but it got to be said. How can we be united? How can we be compatible? How can we be loving and a part of each other if you have dictator words about me? Follow me, y'all. In most of those immigrant enclaves, and remember, I'm from a small country town, Freedman town, where I only dealt with Black Americans until I got older. We got to be honest. There's a lot of slick words being said about us that most of us don't know. FBA fam, do you know what an Abib is? A Yank? A Jareel? An Akata? Do you know what those words are? If you hear those words from immigrants, those are slurs used to describe the foundation of this country. Yes, let me say it again. Akata, Jareel, Abib, Yanks, multiple other words if I'm missing some, y'all. Those are slurs, like the word N-I-G-G, you know the rest, is a slur used to describe Black Americans. We cannot be the same. We cannot have unity if we don't be honest with each other. If you have words in your community that are racial slurs to describe another group of Black people, we got to talk about that. And until many non-FBAs are honest about that, we can't move forward, bro. We cannot move forward if we don't address how disrespectful those words are. Why do we got to stand right there, King Crowder? Why do we got to go on that? Because if we don't clear the air, open the conversation up, get that toxic energy removed, how are we going to learn? How are we going to listen? How am I going to be able to trust you? If you've ever lived with a woman, operated with a woman, one thing you got to understand is the emotional part. Let me break it down for my guys. All my single guys, pay attention. To be with a woman, trust means a different word for us. Loyalty for a woman means reliability. You know how women emphasize reliable, I want loyalty, y'all? What they are saying is they want you to have the ability to provide always. That means through work. That means through emotional support. That means through stability. That means you will not just quit once your emotions change. That is what a woman says when they say, I want love and reliability. Now let's flip that to FBAs. When we say we want love and reliability, that means we want transparency. Transparency about feelings, transparency about hurt, transparency about wrongdoing, and transparency about disrespect. Until we get to that point where we have a honest, transparent, serious discourse and analog about it, ain't nobody listening. You can say all that rhetoric, we are one, we are family, you my brother, I'm your brother, all that bullshit. You can say all that, but until we address that, until we lay it on the pavement, until I can take my hat off and say, bruh, you really disrespected me. How are you going to make up for how you disrespected me in the way I need it? Remember, when you disrespect the offended party, it is not up to them to figure out how to make it right. It's up to me. Shout out to D, baby. If I got to make it right with you, I have to figure out how to accommodate you. I got to figure out how to make it right by you, not the other way around. When I got to figure that out, that means I have to listen, process, hear, agree, compromise, and move forward. We haven't even got to that stage where we have an agreement yet. We haven't even got to that stage where it's acknowledgement yet. But you're telling me we are one? There's nothing worse than being lied to in your mother bleeping face. And you know what's worse than you lying to me? You telling me that you did something as a man. Ladies, I'm speaking as a man. When I know you didn't, bro. If you ain't gonna keep it 1,000, you ain't gonna never get no love. there ain't gonna never be no respect. There ain't gonna never be no understanding. And the reason why it will never be understanding because there is something that has not been dealt with. And until you deal with that issue, until you talk about that problem, it ain't gonna be no unification. It's not. Hey, y'all going in, man. Nowhere been in one, man. We accept it. I need you to do third worlders, man. You crazy, man. First of all y'all fled their own countries, though. Y'all going in, man. Trump is, I don't know what he's talking about. Hashtags, people trolling, man. We were never unified economically because they don't see they want to. Why do you think they talk crime and all-time road delineation? Y'all are cooking in the chat, man. Y'all going in. But let's keep going.
Oh, I hope that this discussion really helps to kind of end that.
Yeah.
And in some way, maybe in our lifetime, like we were able to see and experience a black president like Barack Obama and the contributions for so many other black Americans that we know about, so many black immigrants who've made contribution. There is enough to go around everywhere for us to be together, and nothing ever takes away from the idea that the black Americans who built the foundation and this horrible history in America, that nothing takes away the black foundation that built this country.
No doubt.
And so this conversation is to be additive. It's to be able to highlight
the civil rights bill.
Sorry about that, y'all. Kings Mobile. Sorry about that. What he said was a whole lot of talking points, right? About who deserves this, how do we invest in this, and how do we make things right. But the first thing to making things right, y'all, you have to have conflict. A battle, the issue, then you have the resolution. I did not hear anything on the non-FBA standpoint on bringing their issues to the forefront. You got to lay your issues out that you bring, not that I bring. You have to address your issues that you have with us. When the issues are laid out, when the conversation is vulnerable, honest, and real, then a conversation can be had. But right now, we don't want to hear no conversation. As you can see in the chat, delineation is in its first wave. What does that mean, King Crowder? That means this is the lightest it will be. Second wave, third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. Right now, imagine how these high schoolers are going to be on a delineation wave when they get my age. Right now, we are at the foundation we're at the early stages of it. It ain't gonna stop. It's only going to amplify. So unless right now where you at, you lay your book on the pavement, you address all the wrongs, you address everything that happened, we can't get it right until you do that, man. And this is not to be uncomfortable. This is not to be pointing the finger. What this is to tell the truth, man. One thing that is in FBA culture, we gonna keep it 100. We gonna tell the truth. We gonna let it be known. We gonna discuss the problems. We're gonna examine the problems. We cannot get past that. That is something culturally that is embedded in us. And until you address these things, not give credit, but address them, then we can move forward. On my last Godfrey video I want to respond to, he gave a great insight, but I think we need to talk about this too.
Civil rights bill is the reason why our parents got to come over here. 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist son of bitches on the planet, had to sign that civil rights. But you know, Martin Luther King is right next to him. Right, yeah. So that is the reason why Koreans can come here. Koreans, Indians, Arabs, Nigerians. It's because of the civil rights bill. It's because of African Americans, foundational background, coming in here, busting their ass, being treated like, being hung, lynched, Jim Crow. From slavery was Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction, being promised that they were going to get this, fighting every war. They've been, black people fought in every single war and still being disrespected, not being able to buy homes. You understand? Burning up of black towns. And people go, well, why ain't they? They saw opportunities. There were black.
I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Many of them know the history, talk about the history, and acknowledge the history of foundational Black Americans. King Crowder, why is that energy still there? Because It's jealousy. I know it's a dirty word. The big J is jealousy. We have had, y'all, a mental genesis. I know we always throw the word F, no genesis, shout out to Tariq. But mentally, we have had a separation. Mentally, we have accepted that we will not be normal to what most people say. Mentally, doing Jim Crow. This is the other side of history that you have to be taught, ladies and gentlemen. Doing Jim Crow, it taught us to mentally separate ourselves. Jim Crow taught us that we have to be our own variation of people. Why? Because you cannot lean, you cannot ask, you cannot depend on anybody to get it done. You can only depend on who is to your left and who is to your right. The psychological factors of Jim Crow have been so much positive on Black Americans that we don't talk about. A lot of positive, not saying there wasn't bad parts of Jim Crow, y'all. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm saying as far as the ethnic pride, the cultural resistance, the cultural resilience, the unusual culture and status quo that we get, that was a troubleshoot from the problems of being segregated. Remember, y'all, the myth about Jim Crow is that we were trying to integrate for all those years. No, we wanted separate economies to say, you do your own things, we have ours. I want you to think about this for a second. Shout out to Martin Luther King. He was a young man trying to get integration popping, and I know why. Big picture. But we had all the music, y'all. We had all the culture. We had all the food. We had all the good places. We had all our businesses. We had everything separate already. There wasn't a push to get integrated except for in the South because many Black Americans were outperforming white Americans. The push to be integrated was to have the access, which I agree with, right? But in actuality, if you go to any of our metropolitan cities, y'all, I want you to think about this for a second. Name me the white spots that's popping. Name me the food spots of other ethnicity that you beat down the door and go to. Name me the places that you like to attend socially and personally on your own that you try to beat down and go to. I don't know about y'all, man. I live in the integrated world. Construction, education, all of the above, right? In my personal life, I don't like to eat at our spots that are really good. I don't say I have a desire to go to other sides to do it because I like to pay for quality of foods. Do I say I can kind of live a segregated lifestyle? I can say I do. I have some other ethnicities of friends, but majority of my friends are Black men. My sister's Black, my lady's Black, my children are Black. Everything in my life and how I live is a lived Black experience. Not saying I don't have some from the other side, but I'm saying just like they have a preference and cultural pride of growing up, that's how I grew up. So hearing this long-term language about why the Black American experience is so different, we got to understand why, y'all. The people talking in chat, I'm sorry, y'all. Keep crime is going down. Democrats are going crazy enough to go around. They are not getting any more of our own resources. That's a fact. They are not Black. They are us. That's a fact. These immigrants are so disrespectful. They flip around and sacrifice a Black American. That's a fact. They are literally so-called 1 in 54, but divisive. That's a fact. None. My dad fought the Korean War. Shout out to your father. Didn't get the ULI bill to buy us a home. Shout out to your father, man. None. We know how to cook and be our own fed food. That's me, y'all. I'm serious. Most Black American spots I attend in Houston, I prefer to go to. Many of the so-called aesthetically pleasing spots, they don't be good. I'm keeping it funky. I mean, do y'all feel like that? Am I the only one? Anytime I hear something that's hyped up, that's another ethnicity, I don't like going to it. I don't. The food don't be good. The service be meh. But the quality of food and what it's doing for what you pay for, it's just not great. So my normal lifestyle that I live is not the same. You know the one part that most non-FBA people are really threatened by? Shout out to the streets. I come from a street background. Is that when the streets, the field, the pavement, the trenches really get on cold with the FBA wave, it's over. Shout out to one of our elders, Trick Daddy.
Trying to figure out how Afro get in front of my motherfucking race. I ain't never been to Afro color. I never been to Africa. Afro or Africa. Never been there. I'm not from Africa. I'm born and raised in Goose, Florida. I'm a born in Goose, raised in Liberty City in the Poker Bean Project. Ain't never went to Africa. Ain't thinking about going there. And I heard it's a beautiful place. Yes. And I know it's the motherland. Yes. But not my mother, not her mother, and not her mother's mother. That ain't their land. America, real true land is right here in the U.S. soils.
And you know why that's so deep and impactful, y'all? Because many of us don't have it. And I'm going to say this for me, y'all. I don't know if you've had the chance to do your genealogy. I can't wait to present my genealogy to the Crowder cousin reunion. Make sure you have your own family reunion, Crowder gang. Make sure you do it. We're having our family reunion this summer, y'all. Crowder reunion. And the one thing I've done, y'all, I've gotten all the way back to 1750. To the Polk Plantation in Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. I don't see enslavement. I don't see African. I don't see anybody on my paternal side of my family, my mother's deep records about where that came from. I don't see any African. I don't see anybody like that that has been champion to that. Of course, I know that the transatlantic slave trade did happen. But if my paternal, my maternal side of the family came from the Tennessee area, and most of our enslaved African went to the Gullah Geechee coast, which has been confirmed, right? How the hell did they get to Tennessee? How did they get to work at plantations in that area? I also will say this for my father's side. My father, shout out to my dad, love you, Pops, was the product of a side baby. I'm going to keep it funky. My daddy was a side baby. His mother was out there doing what they did back in the day. And my father's genealogy, I have not gotten to go as deep because there has been a barrier of information about him. I can only go 4 generations back on my father. The one thing I would love to do before my father passes away is to get a deep historical dive into his family because he doesn't even know his paternal father. I've only found his name, but I would love to get more deep research about it, man. But let's keep cooking. My mother's side of the family, I can go all the way back, y'all. I can go to where the land allotments were given out. I found their Civil War honor badges. I found out how they were developed, how they were built. I found out when they moved to Monroe, North Carolina, to one towards my 8th great-great-grandfather got his land allotments in Hollins, Virginia. And that's how we got into the wooded area, which is known as the Freedom Town of Roanoke. I saw that whole wave. I don't know if you got to go to deep dive into your family history. I would highly recommend it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They haven't explained the lead for Black Americans. You right, y'all. I'm serious, y'all. Get a little bite of few for a lot of money. Not worth it, ain't, man. Always staying on business. Shout out to my dog, Jay Hancock. Why are many Black Americans not angry enough to protest Hispanics moving in our neighborhoods, to buy all the houses and the properties and pushing out America? Because you got to understand, y'all, most of us are economically depressed. I'm not saying what you're saying is not a fact, but if I got to worry about my constant living arrangements, do you think I can worry about my neighborhood? It's a deep fact. I am 1860 Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi. Hey, I actually want to go to Mississippi, man. I actually do. You got to give me some recommendations. I want to go to no, I'm sorry, Alabama's what I'm looking at because they had a lynching museum down there. That is something I want to do this summer. It is. We also didn't grow up with Africans either. Africans were coastal cities. We didn't know them. We didn't know. Seriously. What a beautiful time to be alive. Shout out to you, Black love. Shout out to you. But let me keep cooking, y'all. As we can continue to go into our historical lessons, I could go all the way back to 1750. So the one thing that many people are fearful of, y'all, is that many of our street class will begin to get put on word and begin to learn how to deal with issues. I'm going to show you a great exhibit A onto why this is a scary subject. Fair use.
An FBA, is that what you guys call it?
Black American Foundation of Black American, whichever you want to call it. Yeah, sure.
So in the dating market, many of our brothers are starting to be aware of microaggressions. Just like our ladies experience microaggression, many non-FBA women, I've experienced it myself, have conceptions, microaggressions, and say little slick shh. They be said sometimes. Pay attention.
All right, they'll date an FBA, and it's going well at first, but then they start talking about future, family planning in the future, and then they start to realize that their African culture, it's simply like our cultures are better. Like we simply don't.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that, y'all? Pay attention.
Have the degeneracy we see in your culture a lot.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question.
Can you imagine you meeting someone on a date that's talking about relationships, and the next word that comes out of he or she mouth is that your culture is degeneracy? Think about that for a second, y'all. Is that not divisive? Think about that, y'all. We're not even raised. Many Black Americans, shout out to us, are not raised to be disrespectful that way. We'll say, God bless you, baby. Bless her heart. I'm going to pray for you. That is our version of, you got to figure that shit out. But for a woman to say openly that you are a culture of degeneracy, that's shocking.
If your culture is so flawed, then why are you not in Somalia right now?
Well, we're getting BO.
Wait, who's we? Who's we? Because the Hutus and the Tutsis.
I want y'all to learn this, fellas, and this is not to be disrespectful. This is something that you must know historical information about things that are going on outside of your country. This brother responded accordingly. If you do not remember that story about the civil war going on in Somalia, and for this lady to be from a Somalian descent to say what she said, knowing that actively they have a war going on,
are fighting in your homeland right now. There's tribalism going on in your homeland right now where people are walking around with AK-47s and are walking around, men and walking around in dresses.
And I want y'all to understand it's not in Somalia, y'all. It is completely normal for armed rebels to go inside of an elementary school, kidnap little girls, shoot principals, and nobody goes to jail for it. Pay attention when I say it. In many of those civil war-led countries in Africa, there has been Boko Haram, Hijab, many other rebel forces that will go onto school campuses and kidnap the children and not make national news. Think about that for a second. Imagine how traumatic it would be in your city, wherever you reside, if you went and heard a principal was shot. Matter of fact, the Crips went inside the high school, shot the principal, and took all the middle school girls. Could you imagine how much heavyweight news that would make? Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Our gangs, who they always mention, the GDs, the BDs, the Crips, the Bloods, no matter what you say, right? Imagine them going inside your local middle school, kidnapping all the girls and boys, assassinating the principal, and then not make national news. You tell me how deep of a cultural traumatic event that has to be for you, and how come that is not something you address on a public forum?
Unaliving the people in your own homeland. So if your culture is so popping, hold on. If your culture is so popping, why is the education system so bad in Somalia? Why is the healthcare system so bad in Somalia? You're not letting me finish. You got to be quiet. If your culture is so popping, why is the education system so bad in your culture? Why do y'all barely have any type of healthcare system over there? Why is all of the infrastructure in your own homeland destroyed? Mogadishu is a terrible city. It's terrible. Why is that?
I want to point out something else. This is a different country, about Nigeria. Remember when the heavyweight champion of the world, Joshua, got in that accident, y'all? And there was no physical ambulance to come get him? Think about this for a second, y'all. Let's not use regular people. Think about it if Floyd Mayweather got in a car crash. I don't know what's a highway you live. I used to live by 81. Currently, a big one is 10, 5, 85, 95, wherever you live in America. Imagine if the heavyweight champion of the world got in a car accident and we had no ambulances available. Think about that for a second, y'all. Think about if somebody got in a car crash and our country was so depressed, there was no ambulances available. But instead of talking about how traumatic, how shocking that is, we're on live calling someone else degenerate. Why are you bringing it up so heavy, King Crowder? Because psychologically, y'all, I want you to understand the difference in cultures. I want you to understand how we are so animate on focus on things we need to fix and how that is not the normal amongst most communities. And this is not to be shade. This is not to be disrespectful. This is not to be any of that. This is a moment where we keep it 1,000 like we do. In our communities, we tell the truth, y'all. We tell the truth. Grandiendo, Mississippi, I'll write that down. My grandma have land there, and the sand used to be for make windshield. That's awesome, man. People look at the indigenous black as the main roots. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm so the land was stolen from my family. I'm so sorry to hear that. Shout out to the FBA. Shout out to the FBAs, man. Black people started ambulance service. That is absolutely true. Shout out to them with that gym, man. We started ambulance service in the city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's keep going, y'all.
Going on in your homeland right now? Why is the tribalism going on in your own homeland right now? And y'all are the majority of the population.
Tribalism is like internal conflicts of beef. It is really funny, y'all, when people mention that we need to get unified when there are tribes. Think about it. Tribes is saying, this your neighborhood, this my neighborhood. This my block, this your block. 53rd, 23rd, you know that bull job, right? There's over 3,000 tribes and languages spoken currently.
By the way.
Okay, 1, colonialism, and 2.
We were colonized too. No, Black Americans were colonized too. We were colonized too. You're the majority. We're the minority over here. You're the majority.
Yeah, you guys were colonized. You guys were enslaved, and you guys have the lowest literacy rate. You guys have the lowest.
That's not true. Wait, hold on. That's you're lying. That's not true. That's not true at all. It's not true at all. See what you're talking about. Let me educate you, because the big forehead that you have isn't working for you right now. Let me educate you, because you don't know what you're talking about. Again, and this is how these people feel, by the way. This is what you call a tether. So I'm gonna drop you down, because I know you're not about to do nothing but talk, but let's get down to the facts. Let's just address this real quick and real fast. When they love to talk about how they come over here and do better, don't let that get twisted and get y'all mixed in your head. These people do not care about education. They do not care about family values. They don't care about any of that. I would advise y'all to do y'all history on their homelands and why they had to flee. Do y'all history on their homelands and why they had to flee from their barefoot, degenerate homelands where they're walking around eating cow dung and laying it on the floor and using it as a bed. You want to talk about culture? Y'all are bopping each other over the head right now in your homeland.
Y'all, he's not lying. I know it's uncomfortable, y'all. Shout out to this creator. I'm gonna finish letting him cook. He didn't lie about anything he said. When somebody said something disrespectful to you, FBAs, moving forward, do your homework. Make sure you are educated, well-read, and you know how to combat these talking points. I don't know who this creator is or what this brother is, but shout out to him. Let's let them finish cook.
Cut off the clitorises of women because they're sexually active. You want to talk about culture. You want to talk about culture. There is no culture in a lot of your homelands. Your homelands are depleted and destroyed. Your main cities are like our hood cities. Like, that's your best city. If you compare the education system in your homeland to the Black American education system here, it's completely not even a question. See, a lot of y'all like to do this thing where y'all say, we came over here and we do better than you. Well, let me tell you, there's something that y'all get that Black Americans don't get. We don't get immigrant benefits. We don't get handouts and vouchers. We don't get paperwork that gives us easier to access to get education. We don't get international scholarships. We don't get any of these things. Everything we got it out the mud. And your country would be such a shithole if y'all actually did something to build it back up, which is why y'all flee to Canada, y'all flee to the US, and y'all flee to the UK, because most of you people are lazy. Most of the men in your homelands are actually lazy. And a lot of times, y'all really jealous because y'all understand that we have the popping culture and everybody wants to be us. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be over here. Everything that y'all got because we gave you an opportunity to get it.
Shout out to that brother again, man. King Crowder, why did I show you that video? Number one, you have to learn how to combat these talking points, y'all. We are in the first wave of delineation, as I like to coin, the love era. Type it in the chat. We are in the love era. We are in the love our thyself. We are into love thy family. We are into love what we have going on. What comes along with the love era, King Crowder? Jealousy, hate, envy, disrespect. Also, you holding your own nuts. There is no more you throw things on us. There is no more I talk greasy about you without getting these hands and feet put on you. Moving forward, FBA clan, FBA family, I want you to know the disrespectful words. I want you to dispel the myths. I want you to have the uncomfortable conversations. And I want you to be able to stand on pride, on principle. And I want you to understand, why do certain people feel threatened by us? I want you to understand why these issues are being brought about. When people keep asking you, why does delineation keep being talked about? When they ask you these things, tribalism is something that's bad in Africa all day. That's facts, y'all. They also rob their friends and next to them, unalive to them. Ask them in the hospital stories of schools or hospital. A brother on a Rock Nation found in hospice. Okay, brother, I got you. We didn't know Somalians in Ethiopia, if it went for Michael Jackson, allowing them to find flies on the cover of the main bridge. That's facts, though. He name is Ant CEO. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me that. Shout out to Ant CEO and those children commercials where you can sponsor one. That's Ant CEO. Thank y'all for telling me. Shout out to Ant. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. But let's keep cooking, y'all. We are in the love era. The love era of loving ourselves, of embracing ourselves, of standing on business, and also on having uncomfortable conversation. What does that mean? That means from time until moving forward till we get everything that we are owed, not wanted, not said, but we are owed, that this energy will be here. FBA family, I want you to learn something. Get the pride, get the excitement, get the love, get the focus, and you already have your new marching orders. Do not let anybody disrespect you. Do not let anybody shame you. Do not let anybody tell you you are not amazing. You are not perfect. You did not overcome. And the history of your legacy is not outstanding. Our culture, our code, our energy, and our pride is so contagious, y'all. We are not allowing any more disrespect towards FBA to linger. We are addressing, we are having uncomfortable conversations, and we are setting the record straight. And you know why we got to set the record straight, y'all, for my last video I'm going to show tonight? Many times in history, y'all, we have had so many FBAs, non-FBAs, disrespect us, be around us, and slay sick things that we didn't even know.
I only run one way because I'm black. So
so black women prefer to be warmer?
Yeah, of course. No, well, we like the heat. Like our natural habitat is warm.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, my family's Caribbean, so like
Did y'all catch that? Let me rewind that back.
That's a good point.
My family's Caribbean, so
let me rewind that back again.
Yeah, my family's Caribbean, so
did y'all catch that? I don't know if y'all peeping in real time. The non-FBA wave and delineation wave is hitting up so hard that Candace Owens is admitting that she's not black. Catch that, y'all. I'm a black woman. No, you're not. You are an arrogant woman that is openly disrespect other women and other brothers that have had things happen to us in this country. I forgot what you said about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Back to Blue, no matter who. Candace Owens, we have not forgotten. But the one thing that we must give credit to the love era, the delineation era, it has exposed everyone around us. It has shown why they've been undermining us. It has highlighted that you are not like us. Take this information, spread this information, use this information, and most importantly, y'all, make sure you're using your normal lives. When people say things that sound off code, ask them where their family from. The only people that get upset are non-FBA. The only people that feel disrespected are non-FBA. You can ask me where my family from, where my mother went to church, where my daddy was born, where my uncle and my cousin, what hospital my mother went to. That's a normal FBA question. The people that get offended, that find it disrespectful, distasteful, are usually the ones that are not from our lineage and that feel threatened. Remember these things, y'all. We have to highlight the playbook. The reason why, ladies and gentlemen, all fakes and conquerors have been exposed, are going to continue to be exposed. Loving myself. We're in the love era, Miss Monty. We're in the love era. Loving my people, we do, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, in fact, she is. She is, y'all. She is definitely one. Smile on your face. All I want to do is remember the time we played. Remember that song. Okay, facts to that. But the reason why we talk about this, y'all, as we continue to go on, Number one, y'all, I want you to love yourself. Delineation is the love thyself era. We're going to love our families. We're going to love our history. We're going to travel to where our family has been. We're going to make it a point to observe where we're going. We're going to talk about our upbringing. We're going to highlight our wins. We're going to highlight what we do. We're not going to be shamed for it. We are going to be unapologetically beaten with your chest. So moving on. FBA family, I love you. Always my midweek tap in is not too long. You know I have my longer live on Sunday. I like to give you a good solid hour to talk to y'all. If you have not catch other videos or other ones to the channel, please tap in. Also, live on Sunday will take place this Sunday, as always, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trade Day coming up then. I'll also have a baby shower photos coming up, y'all. Support your boy. Y'all know I got another new addition. The most important thing that any FBA brother can do is have an FBA family, which I'm continuing to let that legacy grow on and out, man. Another one, another baby coming in, baby shower next 2 weeks, and another new girl on the way. More kids, more family, and most importantly, more legacy. I love y'all. I hope you, number one, text your father, text your family, let them know you love them. Number two, give them content to read and other things they should be heading on. Number three, and most importantly, hold the line, y'all. If they not have told you or nobody told you, we have upped the scope. We have upped the scope. What you mean by up the scope, King Crowder? I mean, the love era is working. The only thing we have to do more, ladies and gentlemen, is continue to spread the word, guide the word, and make sure we let more people know this subject has been going into. You can always use it, love that. Thank y'all, man. Hey, subscribe then, man. Subscribe. I'm loving the content, bro. Let's go. I love you too, fam. I love all of y'all. I may use that delineation, love. Use it, love. That's what I'm here for. You my family. Always. You can lose it. We're here to share information. Hey, everybody else shares information. Make sure you do. I'm calling it. Just give your boy his credit. You hear me? We are in the love era. Hey, FBA family, thank you for tapping in with me. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I will continue to tap in with you and give you multiple updates, man. It was good that we are in here heavy tonight. Book of the week. Book of the week. You know I always like to give my people gems. No matter what business field we're in, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what industry, you are in the sales business. If nobody has ever taught you that every word you do, you are selling something. Sales, customer service, or any type of business is your realm. Make sure you enhance your skill set. Make sure you learn something that's going to be beneficial to that. Make sure you add it to your repertoire. Also, things I wish my parents would have taught us by your boy. Available on Amazon. Y'all know I'm trying to get a new edition out. I will have more content and more information available for you to you. Make sure you tap in with me. Until next time, listen. As we continue to close the live on Sunday, y'all, do not let anybody disrespect you. Disrespect will no longer be normalized. Hate will no longer be normalized. Undertones that we don't like will not be normalized. Check that shit at the door. Addressing something don't mean you got the problem. It means you having a conversation about what needs to happen. I love you. Love era, family. Until next time, FBA.